So let's dive in here and take a look at what developers see as the key challenges in managing mobile data in their applications. Of course, along the way, there are some more fundamental questions to look at as well. So what's so hard about mobile and Internet of Things apps? Well, according to research, the number one concern for developers is that the platform for their apps has easy integration with a backend database. In the case of Couchbase, you've got choices. There's JSON or binary data via either REST API through your own on-device framework or the Couchbase SDKs. But beyond this fundamental concern is something that really is critical in this space. You have to be able to work offline. And that's where Couchbase Lite comes in. That's the entire purpose of Couchbase Lite, which is to provide a fully functional local database that passively synchronizes without you having to be concerned as the developer. But we'll talk about that a lot more down the road. The next big concern is that, of course, you have to have cross-platform support in this business space. Couchbase Lite and the Couchbase mobile stack support all major platforms. Plus, we'll be looking at that in detail a bit later. Next, you can't just have numbers and letters. You have to be able to store multimedia data in this space, both for display and transmission. Couchbase Lite stores binary documents, images, sound, etc., as well as JSON. And then, of course, there's the next step beyond that, which is in the Internet of Things space. Your devices are often not in a human hand, but out on a boat, or a shopping cart, or any of a number of places where a small device may appear to grab sensor data and stream it continuously into a central system for tracking purposes. What this means is that your backend needs to handle a very high continuous data ingestion rate. Couchbase Server has a highly scalable, memory-first architecture to support exactly this need. And then there's the Internet of Things in general, an exploding market where your applications can end up in many different places. Well, the problem is those many different places often don't have wireless available. So how does your data find its way home? You're always having to deal with latency issues. The whole purpose of Couchbase Lite is to provide latency management for you with a robust local data store. Let's go a little further. So why is offline capability important? Well, according to Forrester Research, offline capability is going to be consideration for nearly every future modern application. It's also often the most expensive and valuable infrastructure level service that your mobile dev team will implement. So that leads to a very important question. Do you really want to roll and maintain your own infrastructure service to handle a problem that's already been well solved? Well, stick around and keep that question in mind. All we can say is that you'd be in good company if you decided to work with the Couchbase mobile stack. Small outfits like General Electric and United Airlines and Ryanair have chosen to work with Couchbase, along with a number of others that you see here and some that we can't show you but you would recognize. All of them have found this solution to save them the time and money that they need to succeed out in the market. So what have we learned here? Well, developers see certain key challenges when looking at the mobile and IoT space. First, they look at the backend database integration. Is it flexible? Are there sensible choices that they can make in their application design? That's fundamental. But beyond that is the critical factor. Does it support offline capability? Does the application itself need to even care if it's online? Or is that simply handled passively by the infrastructure? Next, what about cross-platform support? You don't know where your application is going to end up at this point. So how broad is your available footprint? And do you want to worry about that? Or do you want to let the infrastructure worry about that? And then there's multimedia data storage. Well, what about images? What about audio? Again, do you have choices that you can make there? Next, sensor data. Data can come in fast and hard and continuously these days. Is the backend going to support that with a memory-first architecture? Can you handle high ingestion? And then, what about the Internet of Things? Is your app going to keep working virtually anywhere? Because at this point, the planet does not have wireless everywhere, but things are beginning to go everywhere. So how do you manage the latency directly implied by that fact that's not going to change anytime soon? You go offline first. That's your answer. So virtually all mobile apps are going to need offline capability. Building offline capability is expensive as well as valuable because it's a hard problem. Many major companies, as a result of this fact, have chosen to use the Couchbase mobile stack as their infrastructure layer for their mobile and IoT applications. Why? Well, stick around. We'll talk about that.